Hey patients, Dr. Epic here, back with some more Butemerol for you. Today I wanted to explore Meridian of the Mass Effect universe. This video will contain spoilers of massive nature, so if you want to try Mass Effect Andromeda without those, just sit this video out. I just wanted to explore a little bit about Meridian, since I found it to be quite an interesting thing in Mass Effect Andromeda. First, thank you for clicking. Now, let's talk about Meridian. Let's explore the lore of Meridian, and then later what possible role Meridian will perhaps play in future games. What is Meridian? Is probably a good place to start. Meridian is commonly referred to as a Dyson sphere. A Dyson sphere is the human-coined term for an astronomical megastructure encompassing a star. It's named after the Earth physicist and mathematician Freeman Dyson, who in 1960 popularized and first extensively formalized the concept for humans. For him, a Dyson sphere had the goal of exploiting the star's energy more effectively to meet the energy needs of a species advanced enough to be able to build a Dyson sphere in the first place. Dyson himself was inspired by Earth fiction writer Olaf Stapledon. The Dyson sphere would therefore have the form of a hollow structure like Meridian, and much like the fictional shield worlds depicted in other Earth fiction like Halo Wars 1 and Halo 4. And this massive, hollow shape is likely what's given rise to the Dyson sphere description and comparison of Meridian. It is, however, to my knowledge, not known whether or not Meridian is actually encompassing a star, or what even is at the core of Meridian. So it's not clear whether or not this is a true Dyson sphere in the classical sense. Dyson spheres are traditionally separated into different categories like the Dyson ring, Dyson swarm, Dyson bubble, and Dyson shell. A Dyson ring bears similarity to the fictional Halo ring, being a giant looping ring of energy collectors orbiting a star. A Dyson swarm is understood as just a bunch of energy collectors orbiting a star in an optional formation. Most comparable is the satellite system of the Earth. The Dyson bubble distinguishes itself from the Dyson swarm by not being in orbit in the star's gravity, but rather by being so-called statites, that is, independent constructs actively adapting to the star's gravity pull, instead of following traditional natural orbital patterns, as far as I understood it. The final Dyson variant I'll mention is the Dyson shell. This is the variant most closely resembling Meridian's shape. This consists of a solid surface orbiting the star, or in Meridian's case, orbiting the core. Andromeda Initiative scientists have so far decided to call it just a hollow sphere protecting a controlled and malleable environment that is merely akin to a Dyson sphere. So for the following, I will refer to Meridian as a hollow planet or a shell world, etc., and not a Dyson sphere. The technology to construct something like this far exceeds the capabilities of the Ket and Gara and all known living Milky Way species. Likely, the Reapers would have been able to create something like this, seeing as they managed to forge mass relays and the Citadel, etc. eons ago. Meridian is, like all Jardin technology, appears to be laced with traces of element zero, giving it seemingly magical capabilities, such as artificial gravity in controlled fashion. Meridian is believed to be constructed and engineered by the Jardin, a mysterious, presumed extinct, and very advanced spacefaring race. For what purpose did the Jardin build Meridian though? Was it for defensive purposes, seeing as it works effectively as a giant bunker and shield from the outside universe? Or was it a more active purpose, perhaps, to facilitate intervention in the Andromeda galaxy at large? A mix of the two seems likely, given what we know. The Jardin is believed to have been in interstellar conflict with a faction or entity known as the Opposition. Even less is known about these guys than the Jardin. They may have sought to build Meridian-like worlds to protect themselves, but obviously something in that regard seems to have failed, seeing as there are no living Jardin walking around, apparently. A known legacy by the Jardin is the Vault system. Vaults are planetary-based megastructures capable of altering the entire planet's ecosystem and environments. It was long believed that the vaults were strictly independent autonomous units. However, Research into Meridian and relevant remaining technology has revealed that Meridian is actually in some sense the control room or hub for the entire cluster-wide vault network. The precise nature of this relationship between the vaults and the Meridian is still unfurling itself to this day. But it is believed that Meridian can be used to control the vaults remotely. This makes Meridian a vital construct of power in terms of the cluster's viability for all known life. It also centralizes control of the entire star cluster, hinting at the fact that the Jardin were in want of strong control themselves of all clusters' life forms. Perhaps it was for this reason the opposition seemingly wanted to seize power over Meridian in pursuit of winning their conflict against the Jardin. At least data gathered by the Milky Way Pathfinder team at Kita Sira seems to suggest so. Meridian was apparently originally stationed at the other Jardin space construct known as Kita Sira, where the Jardin controlled it. Once the Jardin feared the opposition would claim it, they jettisoned it in hopes of it escaping the opposition's grasp. Upon doing so, Meridian's location was lost, and the Vault lost their connection to Meridian. This is theorized to be the cause of the cluster-wide Vault malfunction, and consequently the devastation of the Golden Worlds following it.
Administrator log. The opposition's weapon may cause widespread damage. All our weapons, our ships, will not be able to protect us. Protect my goal. We need to disengage Meridian from Command Core, which will remain here to draw fire. Meridian contains all the work of the Jardin. Nothing else matters. I will send it far. We can return one day. Continue the process of renewal. End of log.
Centuries later, when Ket and later the Milky Way colonists arrived, knowledge about Meridian's powers were a myth, but one that the cluster's Ket leader, known as the Archon, found great interest in. The Ket are traditionally known for dominating and conquering so-called lesser species, so motivation to wield Meridian's power tracks. However, it has to be mentioned that the Archon might have possessed even more personal motivations to wield Meridian's power, perhaps against other Ket for his own personal gain. With the Archon dead, this will be hard to confirm. As enemies of the Kets and as travelers seeking safe and habitable worlds to occupy, the Andromeda Initiative sought to oppose the Archon's quest for Meridian and rather keep it under their own control. Eventually, upon noticing that the Scourge phenomenon seems to track Jardin technology, the Pathfinder team managed to track down Meridian's location, located in the star system Sager as the fourth planet in orbit, where gas clouds are believed to have hidden it from observers all this time. Since Meridian is freshly discovered, we have yet to gain access to any data regarding the orbital period of Meridian around Sager, leading scholars able to only speculate how old Leonardo DiCaprio's paramours would be on this world. Consensus has not yet been reached. Upon arrival, the Pathfinder found the Ket at the site, ready to seize control. The Pathfinder team and all other allied Helios forces fought the Ket forces bloodily, and eventually managed to secure control of the entire world and even killing the Archon himself. Upon the Archon's death, it is believed his distrusting second-in-command, known as the Primus, seized control of the Ket forces in Helios and changed their objective. The Ket focus on Jardin technology was apparently largely an Archon thing, going against the wishes and traditions of the greater Ket Empire and the Primus herself. With new leadership, the Ket might retreat to gather reinforcements to return to their traditional Ket objective of killing and exalting all inhabiting organic species. With that in mind, the shielded and perhaps mobile world of Meridian will be of great aid to the Helios inhabitants. Meridian gives control of not only the vaults on the Golden Worlds and perhaps other undiscovered worlds, but also control over defensive systems like advanced and heavy-hitting attack drones and anti-ship weaponry. This makes Meridian very important to the Helios inhabitants and conversely also a major target should the Ket or other parties return and arrive with ill intentions. It seems in the future that Meridian will become the capital of Helios, much like the Citadel was for excited to see how this will play out, and I hope we get to explore more of the hollow planet's surface. It always felt a little teasy to just rush through it on the last mission, and then only be able to walk around the Hyperion afterwards. Likely, time constraints on the devs led to this. But who knows, perhaps in the next game we will get to hear more or even visit Meridian again, though that is not super likely due to the game appearing to being set in at least primarily the Milky Way galaxy and not the Andromeda galaxy. Other than that, I don't know if there's too much else to speculate on, but I want to thank you for joining me on this little visit to the lost but now found Meridian. If there's nothing more, I will be signing out and start wrapping now, and if you want more or less gravity, just subscribe and I'll see what I can do. Goodbye.